Holy shit. Oh, full on collapse. Oh, we got bad air back here, down to 17. Gotta stay calm.
Hello again, guys. Welcome back to another episode of QAM. Ebenezer with you, as always. Hope everyone's doing really well. This is a bit of a bittersweet moment for me because I've got to introduce the little trailer that we put together for what's going to end up being the last ever adventures of the Burrum Coalfield. Something that, in my mind at least, I thought would span for another 4 or 5 years. You're going to see we've rolled all of these videos over the next 3 weeks. I think there's a 25-minute episode, a 35-minute episode, and then the grand finale is a 40-minute episode. I don't think many people, other than the people in this town that are really good with their history, know the relevant significance of how big the coalfields were here. So just in total, from the original all the way through to the modern workings that ceased with number 12, there was over 10 million tonnes of black Burrum coking coal pulled up from underground. And there's some amazing stories that are interwoven all throughout there. So there's still around about 5 or 6 locations that we can't get to. There is a report that's been done in the field from, I think, 1979, which said all of those other locations, which are Begowans 1 through to 5, 6, and then pretty much the entire of the coalfield that's up to the northwest, which occupies all of Howard, all the way up to number 15, up near the river. That's all on freehold leased land. So, and from all accounts, there's not really much left to see there. So you're going to see us revisit number 7. That's the first episode that you're going to see this coming Friday. And then in between the first episode that drops this Friday and the next Friday, Blake did some work down at the State Library. He actually worked out of the State Library for 3 or 4 days, and on his lunch breaks he was just rifling through all of the archives. Sent me some amazing photos, which I've never seen before, despite, dozens of hours of research. And I won't give too much away because I'll leave it for the episodes, but yeah, we uncovered some really good maps and find some really cool stuff. In retrospect, for me, one of the coolest things was actually finding the old steam engines and steam equipment that was left at the Quinton Colliery, and because they're actually still sitting in situ. So if you look at the historic photo we're going to throw up Friday week, you'll actually still see that the steam boiler and the little steam engine is actually still sitting right where it was in 1930, I think it was, that photo was from. So cool. I actually almost shed a tear when I found that because I've been looking for that particular old coal mine for over 2 years now. So there's some really heroic stories. There's some tragedy that's happened on the Burrum coalfields. Obviously, the 5 miners died at the Torban-Lee mine, and just a little bit on the Torban-Lee mine. That coal seam that they were working at Torban-Lee, I'm not too sure how many people know about that. Obviously, people have been back through the archives with it. They were mining alongside a fault at the Torban-Lee mine. So I think that was Torban-Lees 1, 2 and 3. I think it was the number 3 mine, which was the main mine out at Torban-Lee, that actually had the mining disaster in the year 1900. Now, the guys that were mining for all of the years leading up to 1900 at Torban-Lee, they were mining right alongside a fault. Now, the actual coal seam they were following was actually encapsulated by shale. Now, if you know a little bit about unstable ground, I'd have to say probably just from my very limited knowledge of mines, and actually mines that we've explored ourselves, the shale is probably one of the worst grounds. It's up there with any sort of porphyry deposits, like the big gold porphyry deposit that sort of is along the gold strike of Kilkevin. All those mines collapsed apparently 40 years ago. They're long lost because of how altered that rock is. It's almost like a recomposited kitty litter. It's really bad. I know serpentine's really bad, but from what I could read of these mining journals from the Torban-Lee mine, the coal seam that they're mining there and the shale that they encountered was just extremely dangerous. There was also some big boulders along the coal seam, which made mining the coal seam really expensive and also ultra dangerous. And then obviously, if you know and you've watched some of our previous episodes, the coal seam there produced a hideous amount of methane gas, and that's what led to the explosion in 1900. Because of the open flames that the miners were using on their heads. So we actually explored all of the Torban-Lee mines around about 2.5 years ago. That is episode number 1, called Fraser Coast Abandoned Mines. When you get to episode number 3, which will be in 3 weeks' time, you will actually see that in the video description we've linked all 5 or 6 of our Burrum Coalfields adventures. So like I said, a bit of a bittersweet ending because we I personally don't really want to say goodbye to exploring. I've had the time of my life, just mishing around on my bike and on hot summer days, and you're going to see there is some stuff we actually couldn't put in the video because we found some pretty hectic stuff out in the bush. It would be unwise and it'd be very unprofessional if we aired that. So you're actually going to see the video next week abruptly end, and that's because we had to not film it and tip off some authorities to what we find way out in the bush. And yeah, we don't want to dabble in any of that sort of stuff or start any trouble. So yeah, I think you guys know the channel by now. It's pretty chilled. There's no clickbait. We probably could have got the most awesome thumbnail title ever in terms of, police called or something like that, but we shied away from that. So we know the way that you're meant to produce videos on YouTube now. All of us sort of help out with the editing now. You're meant to throw in a bit of a teaser trailer, which is actually what we've done today, because most of the viewers drop off in the first 3%, and we're constantly getting told from the YouTube creator information that we should be airing videos every Friday night that run for about 12 to 15 minutes. But we've sort of got our way of doing things. We understand that it makes the channel grow really slowly, but we are definitely not the kind of YouTube channel that sort of spam, make sure you follow, share it with your friends. I mean, we do, but we're not really out there trying to raise revenue. I think you guys know that if we actually turn a cent of profit, which at the moment, guys, thank you, we're up to about $150. That will actually be going to the Bat Conservation of Queensland. I've just got to find out, or Blake's got to find out, how we actually link our bank account to what's called the can't think of it right now, AdSense, I think it's called, which is like a YouTube monetary partner page, and we've got to withdraw the money. But 100%, guys, we have probably spent, I actually don't want to say because I think my wife watches this channel, but yeah, we've spent, a lot of money on travel, ropes, rigging, meters, mechanical climbing equipment. Yeah, it all adds up, and we do it because we absolutely love the history, and we want to keep doing it because we're really passionate about sharing the Queensland mining history story. And for the part now of the page, it's actually sort of turned into Australia-wide, and even the trip that we did overseas. So I hope everyone's really well. I hope everyone's pretty pumped for these next 3 episodes. They are heavily edited. I think in total it was around about 12 hours of footage, which I think has been condensed. You're going to see a monstrous shaft. You would have seen a couple of the clips in the intro that we've just edited there for you. But yeah, so this coming Friday, you're going to see the first episode and then the consecutive 2. And I think we're having a break all the way through to around about June. So we'll be signing off for a little while. We hope everyone's really well. And also, just before I go, shout out to 2 of my favorite new YouTubers, Amazing Pennsylvania and Jersey 577. If I can save up enough money, what those guys do is so similar to our channel. They do not leak any location specifics. They are such a high energy and such a passionate YouTube channels. Both of those guys have actually started to collaborate, and they'll give away just enough of the history so you can see sort of what the sort of deposit they were working. And they're also similar to this channel, that they've just reinvested a bit of money into some really cool lights and some video equipment as well. So they're pretty good with their AV. It's a really polished looking channel. So lads, if we can save up enough money, we'll be booking a flight. If you'll have us, that's not a self-invite, but keep up the good work. Been loving your content lately. So it's keeping me motivated to get out and do some missions, which we have a monstrous mission planned this July. And we'll be airing that just before Christmas once we've done the editing. So we hope everyone's really well. Again, thanks to everyone that supports the channel. And when we say supporting channel, it's just by watching it. It still actually creates a really small revenue stream, which again, we're not going to be banking any of that. We're not that kind of YouTube channel. We want to be able to say that we're here for the history. We are committed to the history, and we're not here to make a cent off of YouTube revenue. Quite the opposite. So thanks, guys. Enjoy the next 3 Friday nights. I'll be on the live chat for at least 2 out of the 3 of them. I think the middle one I'll miss. I'll be away. I'm in the state. We hope everyone's really well, and we'll see you guys soon. Eb signing out from the Burren Coalfields.